Hi home bakers! Today I'm in the kitchen making a red currant loaf cake with brown sugar icing.
I love baking with strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. But I love even more baking with those less common berries like these red currants. Red currants are deliciously sweet when they're baked, so if you've never baked with red currants before, this recipe is perfect for showcasing this summer fresh berry.
This seasonal quick bread is soft, tender, and bursting with sweet tart berries. It's finished with a silky smooth brown sugar icing for the perfect balance of flavors.
So let's get into the kitchen. This is how I make a red currant loaf cake with brown sugar icing.
I'm going to start this recipe with the loaf cake batter. In a bowl, I'm going to cream together 1/3 of a cup of softened butter with 3/4 of a cup of white sugar and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Once it's smooth and light, I'm going to add in 2 eggs. And make sure to stop and scrape down the bottom and sides of the bowl after each one. This will just make sure that everything is getting mixed in evenly. After beating in the eggs, the batter should be very smooth and creamy. And now for the dry ingredients, I'm going to mix in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom. I'm going to mix this into the batter along with 1½ cups of cleaned red currants. Mixing the fruit in with the dry ingredients will help them stay suspended in the batter instead of sinking as it bakes. And while it's mixing, I'm going to add in 1 cup of buttermilk. To prepare my pan, I'm just going to lightly grease it with butter and then line it with parchment paper. And unless you want really clean edges for your cake, if you crinkle the parchment paper up in your hands first, it will easily mold to the inside of the pan. Now I'm going to layer all of the batter inside of my loaf pan. And my cake is ready to bake in my 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius oven. And it's going to bake for 60 to 70 minutes. Or until it's nicely golden on top and a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. As soon as my cake comes out of the oven, I'm going to start making the icing. This simple icing is quick and easy, and it'll give my cake a chance to cool and set. In a sauce pot over medium heat, melt together 1/4 cup of butter, a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of cream, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to bring this up to a boil, stirring constantly, and then continue to cook it for 1 minute. Remove it from the heat and whisk in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 3/4 of a cup of icing sugar. Whisk this together until you have a smooth, thick icing. Then you can immediately pour it on top of your cake. As the icing cools, it will start to set. So make sure you add it to your cake when it's still hot and easily spreadable. And my cake is ready to slice and serve. If you have red currants growing in your own garden, or if you found some of these shiny red gems at the farmer's market, this cake is one of my favorite ways to showcase one of summer's underrated berries. This is a perfect sweet breakfast or a simple treat to serve with your afternoon tea. If you're a fan of old-fashioned baking and seasonal recipes, this loaf cake is exactly what you've been looking for.
And as always, you can find a link to the full written recipe in the description box below.
Enjoy! If you're a fan of deliciously simple vintage recipes and old-fashioned skills, then you'll want to check out this next video. Thanks so much for stopping by.